Hey there, and my name is Ethan Paraso. I am a registered nurse, and today we're going to go over in this video how the heart works and a quick guide. Basically, the first part we're going to go over is the purpose of the heart. What is the heart? Where is the heart? Fun facts, structure of the heart, which includes like parts of the heart and how the heart's oriented and how it's organized. Blood vessels, blood flow through the heart's electrical system, and not so fun facts about the heart, and then we'll wrap it up and then go over some contact information after that. So what you see on the screen right now is my website. It's the blog portion of my website, and as you see, it says right here, Learning the Heart Way, right up here at the top, and that's the name of the blog. Fed Services, right here, Personal Health Education Services, or PHED. Fed Services is for short. You can go to fedservices.com. and you can find this blog where we will be putting up a lot of different articles. These are just some of them that we have right now starting out. So, quick guide to the heart. Introduction here. This is a model that I have. I actually took this picture myself and edited out the background and all that, so you can see what the heart actually looks like. Okay, so the purpose of understanding the heart. So in order to understand what's wrong with the heart, we really need to know what the heart does when it's working properly. So I think that has a basis to do with pretty much most everything, way of learning. So this is going to go hand in hand with the guide here. What is the heart? So basically the heart is a pump. It has 4 different chambers, and I'll get into more specifics about those and how it's divided up. But it's a pump, 2 different sides. Each side is its own type pump, pumps the blood out and back again through the body. The heart is in the just left of center of your chest. So your breastbone is just to the left of that, and not exactly in the center as a lot of people seem to think it is. Okay, some of the fun facts here. I went to the Cleveland Clinic website and got some of these, and then down here you see I got some of the facts from WebMD. So basically the first heartbeat is typically around 4 weeks. The heart is about the size of a person's fist. I have seen some websites, some credible websites, that say the heart is the size of 2 hands clasped together, but most of them say it's the size of a fist, and it's individualized based on the person and their size. Their fist is about how big their heart is. Normally it should be. So the largest heart that we know of is in a blue whale, and it's about 1,500 pounds, which is about the weight of a cow. The stethoscope was actually invented for modesty purposes, and before its invention, here you can see physicians, they had to put their ear up to the patient's chest, and when you have a male physician and a female patient, you can see that can kind of get a little bit awkward. Okay, and your heart beats about 100,000 times a day. It pumps about a gallon and a half of blood every minute, and about 60,000 miles of blood vessels within the human body. And you see a lot of these, they say about, and that's because people are different. Everybody is a little bit different. Some people actually have their heart turned around. Some people have them like sideways. I have taken care of patients myself who had the heart on the opposite side, more to the right side. The heartbeat, some people, they have a lower heart rate, like 40s or 50s. Sometimes it's because they are in really good athletic shape. Sometimes it's because of a heart disease or some kind of malfunction in the electrical system. Sometimes it's because of medication. They do it on purpose. Other people, they run a little bit on the higher side, up in the 90s or so, as far as beats per minute. And then other ones, they may run in the low hundreds on a consistent basis. And then, of course, the 60,000 miles of blood vessels, it's approximation, and the gallons, every minute. And it's all based on how much activity you do throughout the day, how your body handles it, what kind of stress, things like that. The structure of the heart. So I put here that it reminds me of a pear. So if you look back up here, think of kind of like a pear shape laying on its side a bit. And so that's where I thought of that. So it's not shaped, obviously, I'm sure as the hearts that we see on cards or the heart shape box of chocolates and things like that that everybody thinks of whenever they think of, oh, it's a nice little pretty heart. So parts, well, I want to go over this part. I thought that was kind of funny. I said it's more like a three-legged dog with one eye and a drooling problem that you've adopted, you love to death because it has a great personality. So you try to look past the appearance and you accept it for what it is. You can't imagine your life without it. Good old Lucky. Well, the heart isn't all that pretty looking, but it serves a very important purpose. Parts of the heart. In this little section, I just go over that there are veins and arteries. There are ventricles. You have valves within the heart. There are other smaller structures and things that we won't quite get into in this. This is a basic guide. So if you don't know very much about the heart, then this is a good place to start. But if you know a little bit more than the average Joe, this guide may not be quite for you. But you can follow along, and it'll be about 15 minutes or less. And how the heart is organized. So the heart, the base is at the top, and the apex is at the bottom. The apex just means the point or the tip. And this is how the heart is actually oriented in your chest. And this apex here is pointed off to the left side. It's your left side. And you can hear the heartbeat the strongest at a particular point that's called the Erb's point. And you're on the left side in between a couple of the ribs. So the base is at the top, the apex is at the bottom. All right. The heart has 4 chambers. You have the atria, which is the top chamber here, and you have another one over here. Together they're called atrium. These are ventricles down here, a left and a right ventricle. And these I put in blue for a reason, and these are in red for a reason. All right, so basically blood with little oxygen that comes back from the body is in its blue color, and blood that has more oxygen that comes back from the lungs is a red color. All right. So we go on here, we got valves. So we have 4 valves in the heart. This is the pulmonic valve, and it basically this goes to the lungs, pulmonary, pulmonology. So we have the right atria right here. We have blood that comes back down through here. It comes through the cycle. So this is the tricuspid valve. Basically, tricuspid just means it has 3 little leaflets up in here, and they close and they open and close and open. Based on the pressure that's inside of the valve here. And this is, like I said, that's another valve that is they're all one-way valves. So blood can go out and it won't come back in. It'll keep going out and out and out. This side is the left side. You have the left atria here. You have the mitral valve. It has 2 leaflets. Blood comes down through that. Can't get back up through. And it's forced out through this one. You can't quite see this one here. There is another picture here in just a couple minutes that I'll show you. But there is another one here, a valve. That is the aortic valve. And it goes up, and blood comes up through behind this and up through the aorta right here. And then the aorta goes up and out to the different parts of the body, arms, the head and the face and all that. And this aorta comes back down on the other side and goes down to the kidneys and all of the other organs. Okay, so blood vessels, arteries, and veins. If you don't know the difference between an artery and a vein, arteries have thicker walls. It's more muscular. Those walls are made out of muscles, and it's a high-pressure system because they have to push that blood out to all the different organs, every little artery, arterial, capillary, in your entire body. Veins have thinner walls, and it's a low-pressure system. So that's why we get arterial blood pressure. They can do venous blood pressure, but that's for something totally different. So the veins have a low-pressure system, and it's a high-volume, low-pressure because blood takes a little bit longer to get back. You hear about blood pooling. Well, blood can kind of pool in the veins if you don't move around very much, and cause problems with that. You get blood clots basically happen in veins most of the time. Okay, so unless it's in the lung, that's something different. But the veins and the arteries, those different. If you go to the blog, you can click right here or anywhere that it is highlighted like that, and you can click a link. Plus, there's also the link off to the side in the previous articles. Blood flow to the heart itself. Okay, so remember how we said that we have the aortic valve inside here? Alright, so the aortic valve, the blood comes in through here. It comes back from the lungs on either side. We have right here, if you can see this, right here and here, you have those on this side coming back from the left lung, and you have them coming back from the other side. You can't see it because it's on the back side. Comes in from the other. And so you have 4 vessels coming back from the lungs all together, 2 from each side. They come back into the left atria right here. It'll go down through that mitral valve when the atria contracts. Go down through here, get trapped in here, and then the ventricle will contract. It'll force that blood up out through the aortic valve and over here. Now, what this has to do with coronary arteries is this right here. You see that one, and you see this one. These ones branch off of the aorta right here where the aorta comes out of the top of the heart. So this is the right coronary artery. Right coronary artery, called the RCA. Okay, so this is the main portion of the RCA. And it wraps around back on the back side. And it, blood, you see these are other ones. They have different names and things. We don't need to get into all that in this video. But it gives blood to the whole right side of the heart and to the back side of the heart. And it works in cooperation with this one right here. And I'll explain that one in a second. So basically, the septum is right here. This is what divides the heart into right and left sides. You think of your nose has a septum. It divides the left and right sides of the nose. So this is the septum of the heart, and it divides the left and right sides of the heart. Now, right here, this one is the left anterior descending artery. Now, when it starts up here, there's a little portion, it's the left coronary artery. They don't call it the LCA, it's just left coronary artery. But it branches off right here. And this is the circumflex. So basically, circumflex, you think of circumference, and you think of flexing. So it flexes around the back and comes around down that side. And it provides blood to the back side of this left ventricle, as well as the back side of the septum. This right here is the left anterior descending, or LAD, coronary artery, and this provides blood to the front side of the left ventricle, and you see it comes down here and provides blood to the front bottom and the front portion of the heart of the ventricle here in the septum. These veins just return the blood, back to the heart, and they come back in and empty into a sinus that's over here, gets back into the right side of the heart and pushed out again. So we have the right coronary artery, wraps around, provides blood to this side. We got the left coronary artery that branches off into the circumflex that comes around the back, and the left anterior descending. And these other little ones, they have names too, but like I said, we don't need to get into that quite. Oh, I just clicked on the heart so you could see a single picture of it. Okay, now the electrical system. We have the SA node, the sinoatrial node. Some people say sinoatrial. But SA node for short. Basically, this is the heart's pacemaker. It's where it starts the electrical signal, and it'll push it out like these arrows show. And it causes, whenever this fires, it causes the atria to contract, and they squeeze the blood down into the ventricles. Okay, so they squeeze down into the ventricles. The signal gets slowed up right here at the AV node, the atrioventricular node. It's kind of like the junction between the atria and the ventricles. So it slows down a little bit to give the atria enough time to squeeze the blood out and get it into the ventricles. And then the signal goes on, goes out to the ventricles, causes them to contract. The right ventricle squeezes, and the blood is forced up and out through the pulmonic valve, goes out to the lungs. And then they get, their oxygen and comes back. The left side squeezes, and blood comes in through that mitral valve into the left ventricle, contracts, goes up through the aorta and out to the rest of the body. This is a little bit more detailed picture with the model opened up, and shows you the superior vena cava right here, that comes in, and the inferior vena cava that comes in right here. They both come into the right atria. That's my timer. And when the atria contracts, they push the blood through this tricuspid valve right here, and then it gets trapped there until the ventricle contracts, and then it pushes it up through the pulmonic, and out to the lungs. Okay. Next, we have the left side of the heart. So, like I was saying before, we have two vessels right here that come back from the lungs. These are actually called the pulmonary veins because they're bringing blood back to the heart. It's the only place that has the oxygenated blood coming back to the heart. Usually those are veins, like the veins you think of that have the blue, the blue tint to them. And so the blood comes back. We got two on this side. We got two coming from the other side that'll empty out right around here into this left atria. Atria contracts, goes down through the mitral valve into the ventricle right here. Then the ventricle contracts, pushes. This is that other, the aortic valve right here you couldn't see before. So it pushes the blood up through the aortic valve, comes up here, and then it goes out to the arms, in the head, and then it comes, the aorta comes back down here and to the rest of the body. All right, so some not so fun facts about the heart. 1 in 4 people each year die of heart disease in the USA alone. However, heart disease does not mean a heart attack. It could mean narrowing of the arteries. They have kind of clogged arteries where the blood flow isn't that great, and it causes damage over time. The heart gets weaker and weaker, and then you have like heart failure issues, things like that. But then you have atrial fibrillation, and you have a lot of other diseases and things that come of it too that have to do with heart disease or related somehow. So about 735,000 people suffer a heart attack each year. Obviously, they don't all die from a heart attack. If you go to the hospital fast enough, you get your aspirin. You don't wait around and hope that the chest pain or the shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting. Don't wait for those things to go away and just see if it's going to get better, because it might not happen. That's a whole nother area talking about the heart attack there. So. And right here, African Americans are at the greatest risk for heart disease. That's just a fact that's been proven time and time again and over time. All right, so wrapping it up, I know this has been a pretty down and quick type guide here. I may do a PowerPoint one later on down the road that's a little bit more clean. It's not just scrolling down the page, but I wanted to get this out there so people can really learn and understand this. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. And there are ways. If you go to fedservices.com and you can click on the contact page right up here, there's a link. You can click on the contact right there, and then it'll have several different ways that you can get a hold of me. Right down here at the bottom, I'll show you the wrap up. Here are some resources. These are some of the places, some of the websites that I used. There were a few more, but they're linked to up here. You can click on that. It'll take you to a link for the Centers for Disease Control. That's their facts about it. And then up here where I had the other facts, the fun facts, up here, I mentioned I got some of them from WebMD, Amazing Facts About the Heart. This one is from the Cleveland Clinic. It gives most of these ones. All right, so at the bottom, you can see leave a reply. You can do that and comment and post it, and I'll check those. Right above that, where it says sign me up, basically this is for an email list. It's not one to spam or put things out constantly, but whenever we come out with different articles, we can send you an email, let you know what it is, see if you'd be interested in it, because we don't expect that you're going to have it top of mind to be able to come back to the website over and over again to see when we have new articles. So we can send you an email and let you know when we do have new articles, or when we come up with a new video training or a new course or something else to teach you about the heart, or congestive heart failure, atrial fibrillation, heart attack, or how diabetes can lead up to progression toward a heart attack or heart failure, things like that. So we have a lot of different ideas of things that we'd like to do with like webinars and free webinars and other trainings, Facebook pages and events and things like that. So there's that for you. I'll show you real quick the contact me page. If you click the contact me page, it'll bring it up, and there are several different ways to do that. Here's one. With your computer or whatever you're visiting the website from, you can go here, and this is from a SpeakPipe little widget that's on the website. If you click here, it'll pop up this whole thing, and it'll ask you, if they can access your camera or your microphone. You go through, you click OK, then it shows you, it'll go through, and you can tell it that it's okay. Here's the Facebook page. You can click on that, facebook.com/fedservices. Twitter, same thing. Email is ethan@fedservices.com. Dreama is my business partner, and you can do dreama@fedservices.com as well. You can ask us any questions that you like. We can address those with you there, and then maybe we'll even make a follow-up video or an article or something about it, because if you have that question, chances are other people are going to have that question as well, and we want to make sure that we can answer as much as possible. And I mentioned that down here as well. We'll do our best to explain things. Just let us know, if something isn't quite explained as well as it could be, and we'll try to make it more clear. We want it to be simple. Your heart, your health, simply explained. That's what we want to do. We want to make it simple for you. We don't want to insult your intelligence or anything like that, but we want to make it simple enough so anybody can really understand it. All right, so that's pretty much it. You can leave comments in the comment section below. I'm going to have this on YouTube. I'll have this embedded on the website. So comments, questions, concerns, let me know, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And we look forward to making more videos and in-depth things, and having some actual video probably of us talking. That's it. We will talk to you. I will talk to you all later. I'll see you in the next video.